When a relationship breaks you down, it doesn't just hurt your heart. It shakes your confidence, your self-esteem, and the way you see yourself. You start doubting your worth, self-guessing your decisions, and forgetting the woman you once were. But the truth is, your self-esteem is never gone. It's just buried under layers of pain and self-doubt. And today, I want to help you to uncover it, piece by piece, and remind you who you truly are. Hey there, welcome back to Love Forward with Eve. I'm Eve Kyle, a certified relationship coach and a women's empowerment coach, also the founder of Healing Power Love Community for Women. In this channel, I help women heal from toxic relationships, rebuild confidence, and love themselves forward, not from pain, but from power. Today's topic is self-esteem. The reason I want to talk about this is because a few weeks ago, I talked about 5 reasons why you're attracted to narcissists, and low self-esteem is actually one of those reasons. And this is a topic that truly has a huge impact on every area of our lives. The stat is shocking. Researchers show around 85% of people struggle with low self-esteem. That's more than 4 out of 5. When it comes to relationships, if you have low self-esteem, number 1, you are going to attract toxic partners, people who are manipulative. Because when you have low self-esteem, you also tend to have low confidence. And people with low confidence are often drawn to those who appear confident, like narcissists. When you don't feel comfortable speaking up for yourself, you often end up allowing toxic behavior. And also, based on the way you grew up, that kind of dynamic might feel normal, and you might not feel like you deserve to be respected or treated with kindness. This all goes back to low self-esteem. And number 2, it makes it much harder to leave them. When you have low self-esteem, you often feel like you have little control over your life or your situation. Even after the relationship ends, it might be hard to move on. And the worst part is you might keep repeating the same cycle. You attract them, you get entangled, and you can't get out. And when you finally do, you end up with the same kind of person again. That's why I want to talk about self-esteem. Let's start with understanding the difference between a few important terms. There are several self terms we often mix up: self-esteem, self-worth, and so on. Self-esteem is about how you feel and think about yourself. It heavily depends on external factors, your accomplishments, your job, how much money you make, how you look, your achievements, and especially how other people think about you. These things impact your self-esteem. It's not constant. It changes when those external factors change. Now, self-worth is often confused with self-esteem, but self-worth is a deep-rooted internal belief about what kind of person you are and whether you deserve love, happiness, and good things. It's intrinsic, a very inner feeling about who you are. It doesn't fluctuate the way self-esteem does. It's inherent. It doesn't matter if you failed an exam, got divorced, or didn't reach a goal, you are still worthy simply because you exist. That's what self-worth is supposed to be about. That being said, self-worth is the foundation of self-esteem. If you don't have self-worth, you'll constantly chase validation from the outside, trying to prove your value through success, looks, or relationships. That's why people chase accomplishments or approval to prove their worth. So again, self-worth is the root of self-esteem. If you don't have it, you can't have healthy self-esteem. Self-esteem can change based on external factors. Now, there are 2 main components about self-esteem: self-efficacy, your belief in your ability to achieve something or overcome challenges; self-respect, how much you value yourself and believe you deserve kindness and respect. If you imagine a tree, self-worth is the root, and self-esteem, including self-efficacy and self-respect, are branches. Let's move on to the causes of low self-esteem. About 50% of it can be inherent, passed down through family patterns or temperament, and the other 50% comes from environmental factors. The first major cause is childhood trauma. When I say trauma, I don't necessarily mean it's your parents. It can be anyone: teachers, classmates, relatives, or even strangers. When you were a child, you might have experienced something negative: emotional neglect, verbal abuse, or constant criticism. That made you feel not good enough. The narrative of low self-esteem is, I'm not good enough. The narrative of self-worth is, I'm not worthy. For example, when I was growing up, My mom said the family didn't value me because I was a girl. That was part of the culture. Boys were considered more valuable. They would make fun of my haircut, the way I dressed, the way I talked, everything. So I grew up feeling very self-conscious, constantly worrying about what others thought of me. That's just one small piece of my childhood, but I'm sure many of you can relate to something similar. When we receive negative messages like that, they form our beliefs. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't belong. We carry those beliefs into adulthood. Another major cause is toxic relationships. Even if you once had good self-esteem, being in a manipulative or abusive relationship can completely destroy it. Toxic partners use emotional manipulation, gaslighting, and verbal put-downs to make you feel less than. I remember one of my clients who was in a verbal abusive relationship for 13 years. She told me, I feel like I'm nothing without him. I'm just nothing. And that's how broken her self-esteem had become. And after 13 years of marriage, her self-esteem hit rock bottom. So yes, childhood trauma and toxic relationships are two of the biggest reasons people struggle with low self-esteem. Now let's talk about the signs of low self-esteem. Let me know if any of them resonate with you. Those are the signs. You find yourself constantly apologizing, even when you've done nothing wrong. You feel like everything is a struggle, as if your hands are tied behind your back and there's nothing you can do to change your situation. You often compare yourself to others and feel like they're better than you. You are never satisfied with how things turn out for you. You always feel like you could have done more or that things should have been better. You avoid challenges or conflicts because you are afraid of failure. You constantly look for reassurance from others and crave external validation. You have trouble making decisions because you doubt yourself. You're always worried about what others think of you. You are overly critical of yourself, and your accomplishment never seem good enough. Does any of those sound familiar to you? If most of these resonate with you, there's a good chance you struggle with low self-esteem. So what do we do about it? I want to share what I call that 6 Whys and 4 Cs, practical ways to rebuild self-esteem and reconnect with your self-worth. The 6 Whys are based on the word yourself, and the 4 Cs are 4 important practices that start with the letter C. Let's begin with the 6 Whys. Number 1, know yourself. I want to start with a quote from the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others is strength. Mastering yourself is true power. If you have been in a toxic relationship, it's like that you've lost sight of who you truly are. When you spend years being criticized, controlled, or manipulated, you begin to doubt your own identity. You forget your own strengths, your dreams, and your voice. So the first step is to know yourself again. Spend time asking yourself reflective questions, true self-exploration. Ask yourself, who am I? What makes me unique? What are my greatest strengths? What are my greatest fear and insecurities? What are my limiting beliefs? And where do they come from? In which areas of my life do I feel most confident? And what can I learn from that? These questions help you reconnect with the real you. Imagine meeting yourself for the first time. What would you want to know about this person? Treat yourself as someone worth getting to know deeply. That's how you start to rebuild self-esteem, by remembering who you are beyond what happened to you. Number 2, accept yourself. Accept yourself as a whole person, both your strengths and your weakness. We all have flaws. Nobody's perfect. Accept everything about you, your age, your looks, your career, your past. None of those define your worth. This can be emotional work, but it's crucial. And one of the most important parts of acceptance is to stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is a game you'll never win because it's never fair. We tend to compare our weakness to someone else's strengths or our real life to the fantasy version of someone else's life. So instead of comparison, choose connection. When you admire someone, find something you share with this person, something that connects you instead of separating you. Connection brings you closer to others, and comparison drives isolation. And isolation feeds low self-esteem. So more connection, less comparison. Number 3, be compassionate with yourself. When you have low self-esteem, it's so easy to focus on what went wrong, on the mistakes you made, or what you didn't do well. We beat ourselves up, say harsh things to ourselves, and replay every situation thinking, I should have said that, or I should have done that. But that doesn't help. It only brings you down further. Being compassionate with yourself means giving yourself permission to make mistakes and still be kind to yourself. Tell yourself, it's okay, I made a mistake, but that just means I'm human. What matters most is what you learn from it. You can't build self-esteem while criticizing yourself. You build it by supporting yourself, by being your own ally, not your own enemy. Number 4, take care of yourself. This means physically, emotionally, and mentally. Treat yourself the way you treat the people you love, with care, attention, and patience. When you take care of yourself, you send yourself a powerful message. I matter. My needs matter. And when you truly believe your needs matter, that strengthens your self-worth, the foundation of self-esteem. Number 5, appreciate yourself. Recognize and celebrate your strengths, your accomplishments, big or small. People with low self-esteem often focus only on what's wrong. Our brains are wired to remember the negative, the one criticism out of 10 compliments. If 9 people say something kind and 1 person says something hurtful, which one sticks in your mind? The hurtful one, right? We let the one negative comment define us and forget all the positive ones. So this is your reminder. Celebrate your strengths and wins, even small ones. And here's something interesting. Sometimes it's easier for us to accept our weakness than our strengths. When people compliment you, you might brush it off, say, oh, it's nothing. But don't do that. Let those kind words sink in. Accept your strength as truth, not luck. Appreciation builds self-trust. Number 6, respect yourself. This means honoring your needs and setting healthy boundaries. If you want something or don't want something, recognize that your feelings matter. Remember this, your job is not to teach others to like you. Your job is to teach others to respect you. Many people with low self-esteem become people pleasers. They say yes when they want to say no because they fear rejection. But every time you ignore your needs to please others, you disrespect yourself. You don't have to be liked by everyone, but you deserve to be respected by everyone. You are worthy of respect and kindness. All right, so those are the 6 whys. Know yourself, accept yourself, be compassionate with yourself, take care of yourself, appreciate yourself, and respect yourself. Now let's move to the 4 C's that help reinforce your self-esteem and self-worth. Number 1, confidence. Confidence is deeply tied to self-efficacy. Your belief that you can handle challenges and achieve goals. The best way to build confidence is to face your fears. Do the things you've been afraid to do, even small ones. Maybe it's a tough conversation you've been avoiding, an opportunity you're hesitant to take, or a boundary you struggle to set. When you take action despite fear, you strengthen trust in yourself. And here's the key. It's not about the result. It doesn't matter if the outcome isn't perfect or if that person reacts poorly. What matters is that you took action. Every time you face fear, you prove to yourself that you are capable, and that's how confidence grows. Number 2, cultivate unconditional self-worth. You have to acknowledge that your worth is independent of external factors. It doesn't depend on your relationship status, your income, your looks, your job. Your worth simply is. No one else has the power to decide your value. Only you do. Make a conscious decision to affirm your worth daily. Say things like this: I'm valuable simply because I exist. I deserve love, respect, and happiness. My worth is not determined by my accomplishments. I'm capable of creating a fulfilling love. Use these affirmations to reprogram your mind. Your brain learns what you repeatedly tell it, so tell it the truth. You are enough. Number 3, challenge your limiting beliefs. Write down all the beliefs that hold you back. Ask yourself, where did these beliefs come from? Are they even mine? Who told me I wasn't good enough, or lovable, or capable? Trace them back. Maybe they came from a teacher, a parent, a classmate, then challenge them. Replace those limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Ask yourself, does this belief lift me up or tear me down? If it's disempowering, flip it. For example, I always fail becomes I learn and grow through every challenge. I'm not lovable becomes I'm deeply worthy of love and connection. Empowering beliefs expand your confidence and your courage to show up fully as yourself. Number 4, create a supportive inner circle. This one's crucial. Self-esteem is heavily influenced by the environment you are in and the people around you. If you surround yourself with people who put you down, criticize you, or make you feel small, your confidence will shrink. But if you surround yourself with people who see your value, celebrate your worth, and remind you of your strengths, your self-esteem will rise. Find your people, those who lift you higher, and identify the ones who constantly drain your energy and make you doubt yourself. They don't belong in your close circle. You deserve to be surrounded by people who reflect your light back to you. Because when you have the sense of belonging, it strengthens your confidence and reminds yourself that you're not alone. So those are the 4 C's. Confidence, cultivate unconditional self-worth, challenge your limiting beliefs, and create a supportive inner circle. Rebuilding self-esteem takes practice. It takes time, patience, and consistency. It's a process, and that's okay. Be gentle with yourself as you grow. Celebrate each small win. Recognize that you are a work in progress, and that's something to be proud of. Healing doesn't happen overnight, but every step counts. Remember, you already have the foundation, your self-worth. Keep nurturing it, and your confidence will follow. And know that you're not alone on this journey. Healing can bring up pain and old wounds, but that's part of the growth. Feel the feelings, allow the process, and reach out for support when you need it. If today's episode resonated with you, please take a moment to like it, comment, and subscribe to Love Forward the Eve, and share in the comments what spoke to your heart most. Thank you so much for being here and choosing to heal with me today. Until next time, I'm Eve Kyle. This is Love Forward. See you in the next episode.